Hello, hello, and welcome. Come on in the room. Yes, we're so glad to have you. We're so glad you could join us this evening as we're bringing people into the room. Come on in the room. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Dancers Array channel, hosted by Dancers Array in Christian Evangelism Dance Company Ministries. And my name is Sandra Shackelford. I am the founder and director. And welcome, welcome. So, this is a Q&A tonight that if you have any questions for me, that you can send them over in the chat, or you can send them later if you think about it later through our Dancers Array Gmail. So you can get in touch with us. We want to have communication with you. So we have a couple of questions that came ahead of time. So we're going to start off with those, and we're going to be monitoring and seeing if any other questions come up. So the first question is, when did you start? How did you start? So that first question is, when did I get started? Well, it was a journey. It started off with Sister Dr. Arminta DeMoss Thornton, who was a very prominent woman at our church, Citizen of Zion, who asked me to do a solo dance. And I agreed. And that opened opportunities for me to dance again as a solo dancer. And then soon I thought of the idea of involving some other young ladies within our church. And so my first group that didn't have a name was ushered in, and it was 6 young ladies: Marla McDowell, Angela Reddock, Tanya Smith, Farah Pagee, Tiffany Cooper, and Shonda Jones. Those were the first 6. And we did a song by Tremaine Hawkins, Look at Me, I've Been Set Free. So that was the journey starting in 1980 with those young ladies. And from there, I choreographed dances for Women's Day, Children's Day. We involved a lot of our congregants at Citizen of Zion in dance, and we had plays and dramas that involved dance. And so it was in 1994 that God gave me I Know I've Been Changed by Sean Pace. And everybody knows that song, I've been changed. And God gave me a drama to go with the dance. And I was committed to that drama. And so from there, Gospel Music Workshop came to town the following year, and the children were invited to dance before the academic division. And so from there, we were invited to many different churches, and I took 40, 50 kids each time to those engagements. And I figured out I can't do transportation for all those kids. I can't clothe all those kids. So I went to pastor and asked for a traveling team of no more than 20, and that whose parents would not have a problem with me disciplining them and teaching them. And thus, Dancers Array in Christian Evangelism was birthed. So I hope that helps you a little bit about my journey in dance. I was not educated in dance. I had a class in junior high and a class in college, and I knew I loved dance, but I knew I loved the Lord, and I was seeking Him to give me guidance on how to do dance ministry. Okay, I see there's another question. When and why did I get involved? My whole dance ministry life has been nothing but one journey to the next. I'm happy to say I got stuck in Newberry's. How many remember Newberry's? Well, there was a Newberry's in the Carson Mall, and one of my grandparents of one of my dancers, she stopped me and told me how valuable dance ministry was. She kept me cornered in the candy section for about 3 hours talking about nothing but dance ministry. And I took it to heart. She became my supporter. She teaches my supporters class. Sister Benny Letcher, I love you. And I just can't tell you how involved in that conversation has helped lead my life. So thank you, Sister Benny. Okay, do I have any new questions coming up? I can't really read the screen, but I have some more in-house questions. Do you have a criteria to join? So I'm going to take that we're talking about our young people because Dancers Array has many divisions. We have Dancers Array in Christian Evangelism, and that's our young people that you see dance. And of course, our company is named after them. And then we have Generation Dancers, which are our adult dancers following generations. We have Wesley Dashell liturgical dance classes that are held on Thursday nights at 6 p.m. We have mentoring for other churches. We have neighborhood watches where we might pick someone's house and do a flyer and pass it out and invite the neighborhood to come back to the home, and the dancers dance, and we pass our hot dogs and drink and just have a little fellowship in the neighborhood. So, and we do prison ministries. Our young people have been invited to go to Lost for Dreamers and some of the other prisons in LA, and they go in and minister and dance. Our adults, the United Choreographers of Liturgical Movement, we go into prisons. We have been into Tracy Prison for years. We have gone to Atascadero mental facilities. So God has opened up many doors for us to dance. But getting back to the criteria, I needed to kind of dissect the different divisions that we have. But for Dancers Array, the young people, what is the criteria? Commitment. They want to serve the Lord. But we're kind of looking for the child or young person that doesn't play sports, that are not active in a lot of different things, because the commitment is great. Because they have to do Thursday night dance classes for technique purposes. Then every other Saturday, we're meeting from 9 to 1 where we're in rehearsal, and they're having Bible study, they're having ballet, they're having choreography, they're learning lifestyle techniques and how to handle various things, how to be an ambassador for Christ. So we're looking for that type of young person. Do they have to already be a Christian? Do they already have to be baptized? No. We believe that within our teaching, that through faith, that they can be wooed by the Holy Spirit, and that they can come into a full knowledge, that they can come into a fullness and have a reasonable knowledge of who Jesus is and what he's done, and then commit their lives to Christ. So, but we do have standards. We do have rules. We do have guidelines. And if you want to participate, then you have to follow the strategic guidelines. And my theory is, my philosophy is, if you can be on a football team and you can be a cheerleader and your coach tell you you have to be at practice at a certain time and they need you in a certain place, Why can't I expect that of those that are serving God and are trying to learn how to be true disciples and ambassadors of Christ? Why in the secular world can they put these demands, and I'm just going to call it like it is, on dancers, our friends that are in the neighborhood, our big names, Miss Debbie Allen and Lula Washington? They have criteria for their dancers. Why can't we do that for Christ? Now, everyone is not called to be in a ministry like Dancers Array, but we have provisions for that also. You can come to Thursday night dance classes. That commitment is not that great. You come, you learn the techniques, and then when engagements open up, we allow you to come and dance with us. You can come and dance with the traveling team. So being committed to the Thursday night classes, you might get the opportunity to dance out at least 2 times a year so that you can put your craft to work. So that's the criteria. I hope I cleared up some things about how we operate. Okay, next question. Do I teach things other than dance? Of course. Of course. You can't have a dance ministry this size and not teach other things. We have to teach lifestyle. And we spend a lot of time together because I just told you about the rehearsals and the company class. We haven't talked about the traveling and how we have to be together, how we have to trust one another. I have to know that I can trust your child to follow the rules and regulations, and they have to know they can trust me. So, and then when and I'm kind of backtracking a little bit, but when your child becomes part of the ministry, so do you parents, because we're looking for your gifts and talents. We need you to help us out. So what other things do we teach? We teach Bible, of course, because we believe that if the word comes first, the dance will come. If the word comes first, the children will grow and they will have knowledge and wisdom. Yes, we teach hygiene. We teach etiquette. We teach just simple, basic things that you need just to be polite and just to get along and have harmony within a group or a team. Okay. I see some other questions. Okay. What is your favorite dance? Woo, that's hard. Because I've gone on many journeys during this time, and each journey takes me to a different song, to different choreographies. But as I look back, I'm going to say He's Preparing Me by Del Coley. That's a big one. I first choreographed that in the 90s, and then I choreographed it in the 2010, and it's just been awesome. Now Behold the Lamb by Kirk Franklin. We've built a whole drama around that with the crucifixion of Christ, taking him off the cross, and then having Christ re-enter in celebration before the dance is completed. And of course, the signature piece that brought this ministry to life, I Know I've Been Changed. Another dance drama that allowed us to bring in angels at the end and do roll call and have everyone be dismissed into the heavenly realm. So those 3, but you might have your own. You might have seen Dancers Array dance, and there might be something that touched your heart that you really like. So why don't you chat us back on what your favorite dance is? what was the most difficult dance you had to choreograph? Wow. I had to think about that a little bit. Whew. I want to say I'm Available to You by Milton Bronson. I had promised one of my parents, she was doing a Women's Day at her church, and she asked for that song, and it was very difficult for me. I kind of felt like the Holy Spirit wasn't talking to me while I was choreographing that, and put it together. And he had me change their garments. I added red overlay to their garments on that particular song. And I did not see the fruition. I did not see the completion. I did not see the working of the Holy Spirit in that song until actually we went to that church and it was presented. And then I was overwhelmed. Normally, the Holy Spirit talks to me all doing developing choreography, and I know when I'm in sync with him, but that particular song, I felt like he left me on my own, and it was really difficult for me. Okay, so somebody wants to know something else about Dancers Array, and they want to know, how often do we practice? Well, pre-pandemic, right? We practice on Thursday nights, like I said, 6 to 7:30 for technique class. Then we practice every other Saturday from 9 to 1. And we have what we call company rehearsal, company class. And we deal with our Bible study. We deal with lifestyle. We deal with choreography, building choreography, learning choreography. And I kind of like hit ballet a lot because it helps us in our body alignment and how we carry ourselves. So, but that's just practice. That doesn't include engagements. That doesn't include travel. Dancers Array was going to the Black College Dance Exchange yearly. So we were always in the South, ministering to college students and professional companies, professional choreographers. So it was impingent upon us that we learn technique because we never knew who we were going to dance before. And it was my goal to be able to bridge the gap between circular dance and liturgical dance. Because the circular dance have their idea of what we do and how we present ourselves. And they think we're not movers. They think all we do is just hold our hands up and go around in circles. And so we're not really dancing. So my goal was to bridge that gap and be able to minister to those that had technique. And God really have blessed us because they started at age 8 and 10. And we developed a reputation where they felt like we belonged there on the college campus, even though they were much younger. How did COVID affect our ministry? Well, we had to switch reels like everybody else did. So we went and we got some of our alumni that were older. And one of my fellow sons at our church that was a dancer. And the 3 of them have been representing Dancers Array for 2020-21 to show that we are still on the move, that we still viable, and they have been a big help to us. And they will be here on our Thursday nights showing the choreography that we have built for when the saints go to worship. So we just moved from a building into your homes and your places and through the airways to stay connected with you. So we are just so happy that you have come in to spend time with us. Listen, if there's some questions that we didn't hit, or some concerns, or some more things, just hit us up on Facebook or Instagram or dancesarray@gmail.com. And then if you want more of this talk, and just sit down and just talk. Sometimes you just got to talk to get a clear understanding. So that leads us to, how do you feel about when the saints go to worship? What is your thoughts? We want you to make a video or audio, send it to us so that we can put it all together, because in July we're gonna be talking about, when the saints go to worship. All right? Thank you so much for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you again.